Namaste, my beautiful queens, kings, if any. The last day of the year of 2020 is coming to an end. And this is going to be a short video in which I will share with you one incredible book which I did read in translation, but I read it in its original language, and I want to share it with you because some books, of course, in a history of mankind, a lot of books had been written, a lot of them destroyed because they possessed knowledge which the elite doesn't want people to know. A lot of them are still located in Vatican library. Actually, thousands of manuscripts are still in Vatican library. And even the professors and academics cannot get access. You have to sometimes wait over 10 years to be allowed to enter those chambers of Vatican library, because the information which is there, and if people find out the information which is there, of course, a lot of things people will find out that they were lied about, and of course the huge multi-billion dollar institution of religions is gonna collapse, of course, because Catholic Church is extremely wealthy. They're possessing the priceless manuscript and pieces of art. They turn around the money they are having are billions of dollars. Of course, that's a business. So of course there are books which are still hidden and still not, we don't have no access. Of course, one day it's gonna come out. Truth is coming out. We are living in very interesting time when little by little truth is coming out. I already explained you what is a Schumann frequency, what is Schumann resonance of our planet, and how it had risen tremendously starting 2012. And I told you many things about it, about quantum transition, and quantum transition is not a fantasy. This is being documented and monitored by hundreds of science, thousands of science throughout the world. But there are such books which I call them the books of books. And I have told you already, I don't even know how many times, this I already showed you many times, Journey of a Soul by Michael Newton, and his second book, Destiny of Soul. If every person in the world read this, even this one book, just this one book, we would be living now in a completely different world. We would know who we are, where we are coming from, and where we are going to be going in the future. Because the scary, terrifying truth is the tree is gonna die without the root. And this is what we were made to believe, forced to believe, and forced to forget, and what we are now are supposed to remember, and what the people like him try to help us remember. Our roots. We haven't fall from the sky, got a physical body for short period of time, blink of the eyes, and then gonna go into somewhere for eternity without coming back. We were made and forced to believe in absolute lie. We were taken away to fundamental laws of life itself, not only this planet. This little teeny meeny planet is one of quadrillions of planets and solar systems like ours. We are just one of many. And there are two laws which exist for every level, planet, system. Law of karma, whatever you do will have the events which will be the reason of what you do. Your thoughts, your actions, the words you say, the thing you do. Butterfly effect. Everything has an effect. Everything has consequences. Every single day, you are making choices which influence your future. You're making these choices every day. You choose what to think. You choose how to feel. You choose what you eat. You choose what you watch on TV. You choose what movies you watch. You choose to read books or not to read books. You choose to believe nonsense you are being told, or you choose to do your own research and know the truth. You choose to ask questions or not ask questions. You choose to be a victim, or you choose to take control over your life. You make choices every single day. You are the creator, the divine source of energy, this source, call it God, call it whatever you want. You have part of it. Each one of you is God, as the ocean and the waves. You cannot separate the waves from the ocean. Each one of us is a wave. And ocean is the source, the God, the universe. We are one. So you make your choices. You choose to be a victim, or you choose to change something. You choose to be humiliated and you put up with it, or you choose to fight for your freedom. It is not scary to lose yourself. It is scary not to fight to get yourself back. We were taking the truth away from us. And people like this were trying, wherever he is now, he's still doing it, I'm sure, to make us remember and realize and understand that each one of us is not ruthless being. Each one of us has the long story. Each one of us has been, is being now, and will be forever. You, me, everyone you know. We are immortal, eternal beings, the part of original source. And of course, this book is one of them. No one who read this book, their life was the same. Of course, I saw some reviews of religious zombies who read couple pages, got scared because it goes against how they were brainwashed. And they would say, I don't want to read this. It's not what I believe. It's okay. It's all right with them. We all make choices. We'll all have the right to make our choices. But these people who spend their entire life trying to do the work which would help us, remember, who we are and what we are doing here, why we are here for. This is why my work is it seems like it's a love novel when it's not a love novel. His second book, Destiny of Souls, and his third book, Wisdom of Souls. If half of this world read these two books, we would live in a different world. You would know you have been, you are, you will be. And those you have loved, they have been, they are, they will be. Can't lose anybody. Nothing never ends. And now I want to show you a third book which I got today. My dear, my beautiful queens, this is a research of 37 years. The book which you can get on Amazon for as little as $5. Tom Schroeder, Old Souls. Compelling evidence from children who remember past lives. You know how many years the one who did this research it took? 37 years. I will read you what is written on the back of this book right here. All across the globe, small children spontaneously speak of previous lives. Beg to be taken home, pine for mothers and husbands and mistresses from another life, and know things that there seems to be no normal way for them to know. From the moment these children can talk, they speak of people and events from the past, not vague stories of centuries ago, but detailed of specific, indefinable individuals who may have died just months, weeks, or even hours before the birth of the child in question. For 37 years, Dr. Ian Stevenson, you can look him up on YouTube, he traveled the world. He traveled the world for 37 years. Dr. Ian Stevenson has traveled the world from Lebanon to suburban Virginia, investigating deeply and documenting more than 2,000 of these past life memory cases. Now, his essentially unknown work is being brought to the mainstream by Tom Schroeder, the first journalist to have the privilege of accompanying Dr. Stevenson in the field work. Schroeder follows Stevenson in the lives of children and families touched by this phenomenon, changing from absolute skeptic to believer as he comes face to face with concrete, undeniable evidence he cannot discount in his spellbinding and true story. This book worth reading, if only for the many uncertain questions it will raise. Whether or not you believe, but especially if you are born skeptic or brought up in non-belief in this, you'll be in good company sharing the travelers of author Tom Schroeder. Chicago Tribune. Tom Schroeder has been an award-winning journalist, writer, and editor for more than 20 years. He is a co-author with John Barry of the critically acclaimed Seeing the Light. He lives in North Virginia. Old Souls. This is the book, which I am going to be reading in English now. And of course, there are other books on Amazon. The thing is, you see, there had been so many scientific researches over 20, 30 years. There have been tens of hundreds of thousands of evidence. But of course, if you prefer, I will tell you a little, my own example of believe or non-belief. I will give you my own example. For example, and it's a real story. There is a family who lives in the northern part of the world where the winter is prevailing and summertime is very short. Such fruit as mango, they have never seen. They heard about it. So there was a woman who heard about mango from her grandma or grandpa, and they told her that mango looks and tastes like potato. So she believed her entire life in that, and she said the same thing to her daughter, and that daughter said the same thing to her granddaughter. You know, mango is such a fruit, we don't have it growing here, but it's exactly like potato. So one day, I will not explain all the circumstances, this mother travels to her grown-up daughter to subtropical climate country, and she sees the mango, how it looks and how it tastes and what it is. And it was such a shock to her to find out that she believed in something which was a complete lie. You know what she said? She said, that's not right. This is not mango. Mango tastes and looks like potato. So you in your life again make choices. You always make choices. If you put in front of the fact, you always believed that you just live once, even though it has zero logic, because one life is a blink of an eye. It's the same way as they tell you that you only have to go to the first grade in school. And after first grade, that's going to be over. It's not how it happens. You have been somewhere before you became this, and you are going somewhere after this is gone. And then one life, it's like one grade in school. You cannot get elementary, middle, high school, college, university, masters, and PhD in 1 year. In one life, we only can learn, unfortunately, not many lessons. Each life is our grade in school and our soul development. So if you are being told, honey, that's not how things are. You are immortal and eternal. You have lived hundreds of times before, and you will be living after that. All you like, all you feel the pull towards, what you are, your experiences, your talents, this all has a long story. Those are the roots of you. You are the tree. Those are your roots. Now we are living in very incredibly interesting time, especially after year 2012. Children born from 2012 and ongoing now, those are already children which are allowed to remember the skills from past incarnation. This is why you see 2-year-old playing like Mozart on the piano. You see a 5-year-old who speaks 12 languages just because she remembers and understands 12 languages somehow. They don't know how. Simply she remembers and can use the skills of past incarnation. And 100 years from now, my beautiful queens, everyone is going to be a psychic, and the telepathy is going to be an absolutely regular thing. Everyone's going to be a psychic. Everyone is going to be a clairvoyant, fortune teller, a mind reader. Everyone is going to be able to do this because we are all capable of doing this. We are just being completely blocked and suppressed by dark institutions. And also we suppress ourselves with our own lack of self-acceptance, lack of self-love, lack of understanding. We have the sacred fire in us. And this, imagine this one man, Jan Stevenson, spends 37 years. I watched a movie about him. Look it up on YouTube if there is something on English about him. Almost 40 years he devotes his entire life, travels from country to country, from place to place, and documents 2,000 cases of these children. Then he can check those cases. He only documents those cases which he can actually check the facts which these children give them. This little boy says, and I was killed in a battlefield. In the war, I was wounded. This is what happened. This is what didn't happen. Why this man does such a work? Why doesn't he just sit in his office and admits people who have issues with their marriages or something like this? No, he gets into the field. And like this one as well. You know what they could do? They could become simple therapists, psychologists, because they have education in that. Get themselves an office somewhere in New York. Talk to people. Help them, or married couples, or people, or teenagers. And not bother about it. But they had the courage to get into something which their colleagues would say, oh, whatever, why do you need this? Many people asked me as well, not ask me, but many people who read my own book, which I will publish in March, where did you get the courage to write all this? How did you get the courage? You are not afraid. You were not afraid. Of course I was afraid. I was terrified. I'm still terrified. I'm going to publish this in March in English. I'm terrified because still, even nowadays, after these books, still they're going to be those who are going to say, oh no, it's not real. Because unfortunately, people who were heavily brainwashed, even if at the very core they understand this is nonsense what they were told, they are too afraid. They don't have enough courage to even face their own doubts. Some of them quietly do the research. I did talk to people who did their research quietly and they agree with all this. They know all this. They saw it. But they will not go and talk about it in the open. You gotta have a courage. And that's what I was told. You know what? Actually, Dio Vaselinov was one of the people who told me this my last words, last drop. He said, you know what? This is what you have to and what you must. And then I said, okay, I must. So, 40 years this man travels all over the world, dozens of countries, and studies, and then goes and finds evidence. And those kids are in different families. Some of them are in religious families which don't want to hear anything about it. Can you imagine that poor child telling all these stories? And their parents just, shut up. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to listen to this. This is all. Some of the parents even put the poor children onto medications. Can you imagine that? But still they go, they do the research, they write this book, knowing that they're gonna get all negative comments from brainwashed religious fanatics. and other brainwashed groups, usually, that those who have little common sense. And they still do it. They know they're going to deal with tons of criticism, tons of negativity, tons of not very pleasant things, but they do it. They put the whole lifetime into it. Why? Because they all are as well old souls. They incarnated, they came to this planet to show us, people, wake up. Remember who you are. Each one of you with your unique gifts, with unique spark, with unique experiences. Each one of you is priceless, incredible, unbelievable. You have been, you are, you will be. They do this words. They do this, they write these books, and there are other authors. Weiss is one of them, Many Lives, Many Bodies. Also, a guy who could have just, sit in his office and do visits $150 an hour. But something inside of them pushes them, go and do it. Tell them this, tell them this. Like my own expression, I told you already when I was writing my book, I said to myself, 20 people read it. If just 20 people read my book, it's not for nothing. I'm not doing it for nothing. They will find their answers. And as I always say in my videos, if two of you will hear me, 1, 2, 5 of you will hear me, 2 of you will go Amazon and order and read this book. It's gonna turn in you everything. It's gonna awaken your memories, help you understand who you are, connect with your guides, keepers, observers, guardians, and your higher self. And you will go further into life carrying this light of your heart and helping others then to awaken their fire in their heart. This is, my beautiful queens, what I wanted to share with you. Another amazing book, Old Souls. And I am wishing you to remember who you are. I am wishing you to finally realize who you are. I am wishing you to understand you haven't come into this life to be abused by someone, to be devalued by someone, to be disrespected by someone, to be a slave of someone. By the law of God, source, force, universe, you are created free. No one owes you. You are as free as a galaxy. You don't owe nothing to nobody. You owe only what your core and soul tells you to do. You are not here to be abused, to be neglected, to be treated as an empty space, to be humiliated. No one has the right for this, because you are free by the law of creation. And you have come to shine your light, because no one can do it for you. I hope someone heard me. Namaste.